What if the biggest thing holding you back isn't your past, but the story you've been telling yourself about your past? Hi, beautiful human. It's your girl, Andrea Estrella, and I want to welcome you to Reframe with Andrea. I'm so glad you're here. This is a space where we choose truth, growth, and intention over limitation, guilt, and autopilot. What I will say is that reframing is not about pretending that nothing is wrong or that everything is perfect. It's choosing to look at a situation, a life event, a belief, a past experience through different lenses so that we can move forward instead of staying stuck like I was for quite some time. It's really not about ignoring the hard things. It's about finding lessons, strength, and honestly, the possibility hidden behind those specific situations. For most of my life, I believed the story that I wasn't enough, that I didn't matter, that I wasn't worthy. I was adopted and I grew up feeling abandoned um, by my biological parents and abandoned in another sense by my adopted parents. Um, I carried a deep seated, ingrained feeling that there was something wrong with me. And every story that I told myself, I kept believing that I wasn't enough. That translated into all areas of my life, my relationships, money, literally everything. It followed me into adulthood, well into my 30s and into my early 40s. That feeling of not being good enough most times was just me telling myself what I had heard as a child. But not only that, it was also um, experiences that I kept introducing into my life because I didn't know better. I could say that my turning point in my life has been um, has happened at different times. It happened at 14 when I left home. It happened when I had my first child. It happened, in my 20s. It happened in 2016 when I left a long-term investor. So throughout my life, I have um, experienced turning points. And as I'm nearing 50, which is in several months, I am faced with another turning point in my life. I made a decision to um, really prioritize my health, to prioritize my mental well-being. And I realized that I can't keep living someone else's story. Um, I chose courage over comfort. And so I've made decisions throughout, I would say, the last 10 or 15 years that have impacted me in huge ways. You leave a career where you're getting paid good money, and you go in pursuit of your dreams, and just things were not working out. Again, I had some tools, but I didn't have all of them, and I was trying to do everything by myself. Um, I started my coaching, speaking, and um, my coaching and speaking business officially I started in 2025. And I just recently started another business. So now I am trying to, let me reframe that really quick. I am working on two different businesses that are together both impactful to humans in different ways. Some for their mind, and others, the place that they call home where they rest their head. I have made a commitment to my health, which includes walking daily. And it also includes making healthier choices when it comes to the things that I eat and the things I put into my body. Um, I've chosen faith at different points in my life, but now, as I'm nearing half a century old, I am choosing faith over certainty um, in a much bigger way. And slowly, I'm rewriting my story, both literally, figuratively, and in any other way that you can think of. When I learned to reframe my story, everything like it just began to shift. Um, I stopped asking questions like, why did this happen to me? Why do bad things always seem to come my way? To really asking myself, what lesson is in this experience? What is it teaching me? I stopped trying to prove my worth. And I started to uncover and remember my worth. And that came from living with intention and not my insecurities. And boy, did I have many. I found a deeper purpose to help women and men and children alike um, to really see and rediscover their own potential, their own truth, which is that we are all perfectly imperfect human beings. And what makes us unique is our differences and how connected we are. Um, this series um, is going to be about taking a thought, a belief, a fear, or a life situation and learn how to look at it from a different lens, a different perspective. We'll take real life situations, real struggles, like trying to build two businesses at once and being an entrepreneur, and writing and whatever other things that I'll be sharing about my personal life. But I really want everyone to engage and just really reflect and think about the conversations. I hope that at different times I can be joined by individuals that are interested in talking about how they're applying, reframing their own life story, and just sharing that with the audience. We'll find real, honest to goodness reframes that help to change your life. It's really about choosing a a perspective that empowers you to move forward. I will say, for the record, on the record, this is not about toxic positivity. And again, pretending that everything's hunky dory, peachy keen, because in real life, everything is not always okay. And that is okay. I want you to be a part of this journey. So I invite you to join me on this transformation of our lives into the best versions of ourselves, poquito a poco, day by day, one step at a time. I want to leave you with something for you to reflect on. Every time that you catch yourself saying, I can't, I want you to take a pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is that a fact? Or is it one of those stories that you're telling yourself? Notice how often your mind, that mind is a tricky thing. Notice how often your mind gives you a conclusion before giving you a chance. I want you to remember that awareness opens the door, but intention walks you through it. You're not in your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the author and the writer of your next chapter. I want to thank you for being here with me. And I'm looking forward to helping you all to reframe those moments that don't serve you. Until next time, keep reframing your story, one thought, one belief at a time. Until we meet again, toodaloo, darlings.